Everyone, welcome to a kind of a different 2.5 takes podcast. It is just Stephen and I tonight. Paul did send a video in, which I will attach after we're done talking, but is during workday, things can happen, right? We all have lives, but things come up. First thing that doesn't really have to do with us, but is in Oklahoma news. We all thoughts and prayers out to the Gundy family for getting a nice paycheck. But he is,
Yeah.
he is
Like we talked earlier, I think it was like, you have to be good enough at your job to get to that point where for them to fire you, they have to pay you.
yeah, and that's the point that I need to get to. I want to get to where if I get fired, they're still gonna just pay me, and I'm fine.
The $15 million out. Yeah, that's a nice little thing to do. But yeah,
I'll take $1 million. I'm fine.
just generally, like, what are your thoughts on Gundy, as a coach and what he meant to OSU?
I think he put that program on the map. I will say that. I also think it was probably a lot of boom pickings. That does help.
Money behind it always helps. Yeah.
Yes. But I tweeted earlier, the joke was, OU Texas leave, and they're supposed to take the mantle, and they did.
Yeah.
They literally haven't won a conference game since we've left. You can't.
No,
I am shocked, given what he's done for the program. I am shocked he's gone now.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this means someone assumes they can salvage something.
Well, no, I think the rumor was that the rumors going around, I don't know if it's substantiated or not, was that he was basically told that he could coach through the rest of the year, but then he would have to resign at the end of the year. And I think he basically said, no, I'm not resigning. So they looked at it and they're like, well, he's not. And I knew that would happen. He's not the kind of guy that's going to roll over, especially whenever you got a $15 million payday, sitting there for you. So
if he resigns, does he lose the payday?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. The buyout is for firing him. Yeah. So,
but
I mean, that's the thing. I thought, he was a really good coach for them. Obviously the winningest coach for them ever. I think he just got stagnant the last few years. He didn't have the support from the fan base and from the alumni and from the, really just all the people that have money. So he kind of started losing some of that and losing his edge. And, I mean, really 20 years there, probably time to go. Never hurts to leave. And now he's going to enjoy the beach, I guess. He's going to enjoy the beach along with what the guy from UCLA and the guy from Virginia Tech or whatever, whoever's already been fired.
Seriously. So then I guess my next question is, do you think he goes somewhere else, or do you think this is it? Or is this the last we see of Gundy?
I think he's probably done. I mean, unless he goes and he coaches some small school or some high school, he may do that for fun or whatever, but I don't see him coming back necessarily. But
it would be that's one of those, like, I don't know if I could see him in a different uniform, right? That would just be but I didn't think we'd spend 4 minutes on Gundy. We did. Sorry guys. But the bigger news we want to kind of jump on and talk about just really quickly was, this is from The Athletic college football staff by David Ubben, Bruce Fieldman, and Chris Vanini. But Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer plans to undergo surgery on his right throwing hand on Wednesday to repair his injury that he suffered during the win in versus Auburn. Excuse me. I think I could probably read more and go into depth. That he's having surgery on his hand. We're thinking 3 to 4 weeks, which puts him not Texas, right? Then that would be way too soon.
It really puts him South Carolina at the earliest, to Ole Miss, that area.
Yep.
Yeah. Would it be awesome to have him back for Texas? Yeah. But, a throwing hand injury is not something you can rush. You've got to be back and you've got to be, that's got to be healed. Um, I I had a hairline fracture in my ankle and it took me a good 2 months, to recover from that without putting any pressure on it. So, it's kind of one of those things where he's got to not use it probably, but,
I
kind
will
of
say,
work through, yeah, work
yeah,
through that, you know, I was just thinking he's going to Los Angeles for his surgery. Apparently, they were talking about this on uh, Teddy Lehman, uh, the show he does on the Ref Radio, that he's going to Los Angeles, and I'm just thinking, like in my head, I'm like, is he flying commercial or are they flying him in the private jet out there? I would I would assume they got a private jet, right? That he's taking
dude, get up there
money line,
quickly.
money line
They've already
material.
Brian ready to go. He had the plane ready. It was
Yeah,
done.
call him up, call him up.
Yeah.
But
So that means, luckily, this is, and we talked about this with Paul on the via text, but that means Hawkins more than likely is going to have a good, 10, 12 days of, oh, I'm starting. And likely it's also Kent State. So this, if we're going to say we need an injury, it has to be a specific time, place it. This couldn't have been placed any better, right?
yeah, this is the best time of year for sure. Yeah, because we've got, like you said, we've got Kent State. We've got 3 weeks basically till we get to Texas. So there's a chance for him to get in. From everything you hear, he's the offense we're running is just way more conducive to just you know actually being an actual offense versus last year's weird conglomeration was. So
Yes.
hopefully he has time to kind of get that figured out and get on the same page. But also this is an opportunity for our defense to show us what they are, right?
Get off of 136th of 136 in terms of turnover margin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Man, the thing is, we had 2 to 3 opportunities last week, and couldn't convert on them. So,
But hey,
you know,
if they start stepping it up, and I say that in the most, they have been an amazing defense. I'm not, this is insane, but if they can start adding that to what everything else they're doing, all of a sudden this team, they're going to put Hawkins in a good position.
yeah, that's a wild thing to think about, is that this defense is ranked what it is when it comes to scoring and yards per game and everything without having turnovers. So usually turnovers help out those stats so much. But so yeah,
Yep.
so Mateer's got some work to do. He's got some he's gonna have to get back in shape. After, I'm assuming he's gonna be doing all the cardio, doing all the other workouts and everything that he's not going to be using his hands for and everything to prepare for to come back. I don't, the thing I wonder is, what does the outlook mean? What does this look for on the season outlook? Some people are doom and gloom. I don't feel that necessarily, because I do feel our defense is good enough.
Well, I think that, and you also, times have changed. Back in the day, you lose one game, it's over, right? We're now, okay, dare I say we lose to Texas, to South Carolina, or Ole Miss. Let's just say he's out until after Ole Miss.
Yeah. So say we lose 2 of those 3 games. Yeah.
One or two games, given what, and then he comes back in and we run the table, right? I don't see why we couldn't be top 12 in the nation, considering, especially right now, we're first or second ranked in how difficult this schedule is, and for the whole year, I think we're top 2. So it's not like we're playing cupcakes any week at all, ever. Kent State's gonna be the easiest game, and now it's gonna be a little more difficult because of Hawkins. No offense to him, I think we'll be fine. Now, 2 questions I have. First one, if Hawkins does well enough, let's say against Kent State, and then he actually does really well against um, Texas, do we potentially see him if he continues to play well, do you keep playing him until maybe South Carolina or maybe even Ole Miss to give Mateer as much time of rest as possible? Or are you like, can you do this? You're good. Get in there.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. If he ends up getting, playing well and having a good run of the offense, especially against Texas, which is going to be one of the toughest defenses we're going to play all year. If he if he's playing if he's playing well, then it might be a situation where they don't rush Mateer back because they can keep him going for 1 to 2 more weeks to really make sure that's healed. I think, if if the offense is a disaster, those couple games, then there's a chance that they, are just kind of like, okay, Mateer, it's healed, but you're in pain. Can you play or not?
Pull
So
a J or pull a J Dub. Just shoot your hand up. Let's go.
yeah, right. What was it was last year, LSU, their quarterback looked like this most devastating injury ever. And then he comes back, like he's in the locker room. Everybody's like, "Oh, his season's over." He comes back and then just dominates OU. So, you
That
know,
magic. Yep. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
So then devil's advocate, because you got to have a little bit of it. But so Hawkins doesn't do well at all. It's kind of more of what last year was. Am I wrong? Is it Neubauer? Is that the third string? Am I?
Uh, yeah, I'm not sure that I can't even remember now. Yeah,
I
he was a
know it's a good.
transfer
It's a good thing we don't know.
transfer from. Gosh, I don't even know why I went blank on that.
It doesn't help that I typed that in and Google's like, "What are you asking? What? 25."
But anyway, so maybe that keeps it. Maybe that makes it where we don't run as much, because we don't have a backup necessarily or whatever. I
Sophomore
don't.
Whit Neubauer.
Yeah, I don't really see us sitting Hawkins to play him necessarily because I think that there's too much in and Hawkins is athletic and different things like that. So, I guess we'll kind of see, but I'm not really sure. But
Yep.
I mean, I have,
I mean,
it's frustrating. It's disappointing. It definitely lowers our ceiling on what we can be this season. Um, but
I think for a moment.
yeah,
Yep.
but hopefully we can come. When he can come back healthy, hopefully we can make it through. I'd say this 4-game stretch with only one loss. If we can make it through this 4-game stretch with only one loss, then I think we're in a pretty good position. So,
I think
'cause
so.
it's so
That would
difficult.
be
Yeah.
ideal for sure. All right. So guys, I'm gonna throw up what Paul said as he added a little video. So I'm gonna make sure we have that at the end of this. Enjoy Paul's reaction. Hope y'all enjoyed our reactions. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, a couple things just to share. Kind of we were texting back and forth in the group text, but I guess the first I'll address is Mike Gundy being let go from Oklahoma State. I think that was needed. I think it was a bold move to do it this early in the season and commendable. Honestly, I think that the fan base, I could be wrong. I think the fan base was probably a little bit disillusioned by some of Gundy's responses and antics after games. And he's had a good run. I mean, nothing against like Mike Gundy. I mean, the dude had so much success, to be honest, in that program, and um, yeah, should be applauded, honestly, for what he did there. So nothing bad against that at all. I just think it was the right move for the school to kind of just nip it in the bud, say, hey, we're gonna do the next thing, we're gonna move on. So wild that it happened this early, but pretty pretty understandable, I would say. And then I wouldn't think that we would have two major Oklahoma situations to talk about today. But the second one being John Mateer injuring his thumb in the Auburn game. I think a couple things about that. First thing is they're saying it should be about 3 weeks. Who knows? I'm not a doctor, but they're saying that he should be back after 3 weeks, which would put him in the game, the week after Texas, and so that gives Hawkins. First of all, we have a bye week this week, so that gives Hawkins time to prepare mentally to get in that headspace of what it's going to be like to lead this team through some trenches. He's done it before, and he was younger then, and so I just think his maturity over the last year, plus our defense. We shouldn't be like shaking in our boots or anything like that. I just don't think that that's the right response. I think we just, um, you know, OU's been elite. OU's been awesome. So just keep playing how we're playing. Matier's going to be in his corner. The other wild thing is I think that he hurt it. I think is what they're saying in the first quarter of that Auburn game. So the dude technically played with some thumb injury the entire game and made that game-winning drive towards the end. I just think that's incredible. So, anyways, tough to have a guy get injured. That's football. That's life. The game's brutal, and it could be worse, to be honest. So, just grateful that it is what it is, and it sounds like it's going to be something that could be taken care of fairly quickly. So, that's encouraging. But yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents, and I'll talk to y'all soon.